Right, what have we got today? It's a big bush. In fact, it won't even fit in the frame. I should make that wider. But anyway, it is the Anker 20 watt USB-C fast charge power strip, aka 12-in-1. How's that for a title? And I'll try and fit that all in the description there. Not a lot online, and I thought in fact, even Anker's own website was woeful in regards to its description and capabilities. So I thought I'll do a very, very quick review. This is early days. I've used it briefly and put it back in the box. So I'll get it out of the box because this is particularly boring. And to be quite honest, there's very little on here. You've got that there, which gives you some protocols. Okay, fair enough. So you can see there, this happens to be a UK one. I'm in the UK here, so it's a 3-pin AC outlet I'm going to be using. And it's a 13 amp fuse in there. Max 2,990 watts. That's its maximum, theoretical anyway. So 250 volts at 50 to 60 hertz. That's just the hertz of the UK power line system there. So, well, in commercial premises anyway. Right, so take it out. So get that all out of the way. Right, this is what you're getting. Why did I get this with my own money? I got this because at the moment I'm using a power strip. It's got about 7 plugs in it. Some have power chargers in, some have adapters. It's turning into a right mess and a nightmare. I've had enough of it, so I thought I'll get a proper Anker one. It is a switched one. I was hoping the one I've actually got is each individual AC slot is switched, but I don't really need that because this comes with Type C, 2 Type Cs and 2 Type A's. So I'm hoping that this will cover all of my needs and be bang up to date. And these are 20 watt max, which is more than I need for the sort of stuff I'm charging. That's absolutely fine. Even though I do have just over there, I should go and get it really, but a 100 watt charger from Ugreen there. I use that if I'm doing anything heavy duty, like big laptops and things like that. But for the majority of things, this is absolutely fine. I will be using a plug for certain 8-bay chargers where I think you need a 45 watt minimum on it's the X-Star 8 bays that I'm using. So for that purpose, I will be using that. But for most of their stuff, 20 watts is more than enough. Bear in mind that's maximum in total. So if you were to use one of these, you get 20 watt. If you use 2, it becomes a shared matter, so you're not going to get 20 per, which would give you 40 altogether. Just bear that in mind. So like I said, the name on this is ridiculous. It's the Anker 20 watt USB-C fast charge power strip, aka 12-in-1. Ridiculous. So even on their own website, I couldn't find what the actual number was. So I eventually dug, and it's probably on the back of here, actually. I should have looked. Is it on there? Yes, it is. Right, it's tiny. I've done this in 4K. You may need to zoom in. That is the A9185. So if you're looking for it, it's the A9185, and I'll put it in the description. So there's your electrical ratings. It's exactly what was shown before on the box. And you can see it's got one port there, USB-C output, 5 volts up to 3 amps, a total of 15 watts. On that setting anyway, and then obviously at 9 volts you get 2.2, 20 watts, and blah 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 all the way to its 20 watt max. That's fine. Okay, the USB-C, which is the other USB-C, I'm not going to go through all these ratings, it's pretty boring. And as you can see there, 3 and 4, you've got 15 watt max. So 20 watt max on the C's, 15 watt max on these, and these are the Anker IQ. I mean, I'm not going to go over it too much on this, but you know what power delivery is, where there's some level of negotiation between the giver and receiver, let's put it that way. And in regards to IQ, it will take its best guess as to what output it's able to do, because there's millions of non-standards like dash charge from, certain companies, and you've got even Qualcomm came out with quick charge 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that's technically a non-standard USB, although it becomes a standard because people use it. But anyway, right, so we'll take that off. I'm going to try and keep this brief though. Right, you can see very shiny finish there. So I've done this HDR 4K. It's got a nice finish to that, and it's kind of almost sparkling underneath. The actual surface itself, if you listen, it is textured. It's quite nice. It's white. You do have 2 little lights here, so when it's on, you'll see a light on the left there, and as long as surge protection is running, which I like on all of my outlets, I'm not getting struck by lightning every 5 minutes like Dr. Frankenstein, but I would prefer to have it than not have it. The light will be on there, and they're saying in their own literature, if it's not on, it's probably defective or no longer providing surge protection, so just bear that in mind. So this one you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very compact. The tower one that I'm using at the moment is pretty big. You can get some decent ones from a company called Hulker if you look those up. Some pretty good ones, pretty cheap, but it's an unknown brand, and yes, they have been around for a number of years now, but you may want to consider, look, if you're plugging a load of expensive electrics in, do you want something with a guarantee or something without a guarantee? And in that regards, this only, unfortunately, it doesn't come with a lifetime guarantee. It is surge protected. They are claiming up to 300 joules, and this comes with an 18-month warranty. So that's pretty good, but I've never had any problems with any Anker stuff ever. They've always been pretty spot on, chargers and otherwise. So, like I say, the A9185, so you get 8 AC ports, 2 Type Cs on the top there, your standard power delivery, then your IQ, which will take the best guess, and it has a 2-meter cable. There's the cable there. I'll actually plug it in so you can see what the light looks like. So give me 2 seconds because I've got to dash across the room here. In fact, I'll just, for those who don't know, this is obviously a UK plug. I realise in the States it would look slightly different to this. Some plugs in the States do and some don't have a ground. I'm not going to go into that or the need or necessity for that. And because this is in the UK, that it has a replaceable fuse in there, so you can just pop that out and replace the fuse. Mostly every plug in the UK there comes with a 13 amp fuse, so that blows up first, and you can see because it's paper lined, it's like a little tube with a wire going through, and you can just pop a new one in, no problem. So pretty good. It's quite a compact plug as well, decent, nice. So get that plugged in, boosh, right, that's in. So when it is in, if I can find it there. Now, due to the frame rate that I'm using, you may or may not see that flashing. In person, it does not flash. The frequency for a human like me, even though I am fallible, to my human eyes, that does not flash. So just bear that in mind. If you're thinking, what the hell's going on there? It looks like a Dalek. It's not. Don't worry. Human eyes, it looks absolutely fine. It actually looks quite blue on the viewfinder here. It isn't in person. It's more white. Anyway, so let's get something plugged in. So I'm going to test this. Let's see what the output is. So I'll test this with a standard charger here. So let's see what we get here. So we'll go for the IQ first. Let's see what sort of output we're going to get here. So nothing yet. There you go. Right, charging. Right, let's see what we get here. So not a lot. It isn't charging. All right, it's thinking about it again. It's negotiating again. Right, here we go. Right, so input 6 watts, 7, 8, 9, 10 watts, 12. So rapidly climbing. So at the moment from that IQ, I'm getting 12 watts on the Type C there. So we'll leave it a few seconds, see if it raises. I don't expect it to, because I've done some rudimentary testing on this anyway. So 12 watts still. So let's try the power delivery. I expect that to be a little higher. So boom, I'm using the same cable, even though there are 2 on this Type C. Let's see what we get with this one. Charging much faster, immediately 17 watts. So it negotiated right up. It should go to 20, 18 watts. Sometimes there are limitations when it comes to temperature in regards to the receiver and the sender. 19 watts, I have seen it hit 20. So I'm more than confident to say this is a 20 watt charger on the power delivery one on the left there. So I've got no problems with that. And if we wanted to just test the protocols, I do have, where is it? Where is it? It's never, there you go. If I can reach that. I'm just sticking a little tester here. Should be, it'll be that way, won't it? It's always the wrong way, isn't it? Right, boom. Let's see what we get here. So this is one of the Type A ports. So there's your 5 volts there. That's the V-bus there. So 8 volts, no problem coming through. I've done some quick tests. I've had no problems with that. And I've even tested, I will test the, in fact, I was supposed to show you the protocols there. So the protocols on that one, what are we getting here? So ignore all this malarkey. So bottom left there, so you've got dedicated charging profile, which is DCP. Bottom left there, so if I can get it to focus. My apologies, very unprofessional there. Up to 1.5 amps, basically, yeah, that's fine. And then it does cover the Apple protocol up to 2.4 amps. So pretty good, no problem. That will work absolutely fine with most things. I think I did test, did I not test? If I test the IQ, I'll test the IQ port. Stick that in there, boosh. Came up with the same, if I remember. I'm just showing you here. Yeah, so dedicated charging profile 1.5, Apple 2.4, and you get similar if you put it into the PD, power delivery. You should get your DCP again. Yeah, DCP 1.5. And I didn't see any other protocols on there, which is fine. Because it's just a basic charger. That's all it is. I'm not going to go into graphs and doing all the different things. It's absolutely fine. You can't change this actually to... But unless I'm charging, it's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? So you know that that works, and it does work with, I shall show you, standard power bank. Let's plug that in. So we'll go into the in port. This is just happens to be an X-Star. There you go. Boom, 2.2 volts there, 1.5 amps though, so pretty high. That's on the power delivery there. So power delivery to a charger works absolutely fine, no problems. I'll do the IQ just to show you. Again, I'm trying to keep this quick. So there's your standard 5 volts, 0.8 of an amp, which is fine. I think this is nearly full, yeah, 91%. Ignore that figure actually, but just showing you that it's in nearly up to 2 amps there. So plenty amps coming out. And you saw that it'll do 1.5 plus. Okay, I'm not going to show you any more than that because it gets pretty boring, but I'll just quickly go over the features. So features wise on this, it is switched, so you can physically see it right if you watch the thing there, off and on. Maybe I would have preferred per switch, but it's not really that important when I'm going to be using most of my stuff out of this, unless I'm using an adapter. These plugs are nicely, they're not too close together. I've had some cheap ones in the past where they're really close together and it's annoying. I did look it up and they're 5.2 centimeters apart if you are comparing the central part there to the central part there. So that's 5.2. They are claiming surge protection 300 joules, which is okay. It's okay. They're saying it's got over temp control, overload protection, over current protection, short circuit protection, over voltage protection, take a deep breath, and fire resistance. But most stuff these days, especially electrical, should have a level of fire resistance. It's not proof, it's fire resistant. In other words, they generally add fire retardants to the plastics and things like that, so it doesn't immediately go up in a blue light and you know, and ruin your life. They're saying reset there, but it's just a simple on and off. So pros for this for me, surge protection, everything I buy would have a surge protection given the choice. Very compact compared to the one I've got. I know Hulker do some other ones, and there are probably, if you look at the American, this is a UK plug option this, but if you look at the American plugged ones and international options, there are more options than this, so I'm just pointing that out. You do have that one switch. I mean, cons wise, you could say, well, it's only 18-month warranty, and the literature, abysmal, poor, 9 out of 10 Anker. It took me long enough just to even find the model number. Ridiculous. Even on your own website, I couldn't work out the protocols and stuff. I had to do my own testing. I don't think people should have to do that as a standard buyer, but anyway, there you go. And the plugs all work as I would expect. They have this. These are the standard UK system where these don't open unless you put the ground in, because on a UK plug the ground is longer than the other pins, so they won't open until the ground pin is in. Stops you getting electric shocks and things like that. So it all works as I would presume a plug should work in the UK. So good stuff. I'll be using this from now on, and I'll get my other one and I will drop kick it into the river. Anyway, I've basically covered everything there. So hopefully that helps anyone who's looking at this, because I did a quick search when I was trying to get a model number and things like that, and I noticed nobody had even discussed this. So I don't know if it's brand new or people just aren't interested, but I thought I'd cover it just for the channel. Right, thank you very much. I'm going to get on with my day. Any comments or questions, I will try and help you the best that I can. Stick them down below and I'll try and get to them when I can, but I sometimes get swamped. So have a good day. Goodbye.